before we even call run app, I'm going to call await firebase.initialize app. And let's also import Firebase core so that we don't get an error. This await call basically tells Flutter to not go ahead and start our app until we're done initializing Firebase, which should happen very quickly. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it's even an asynchronous method here, but I guess we need to do that plain that we're putting it inside a function that's not marked asynchronous. So I can just Alt-Enter and select Add Async Modifier and how services binding. And
नजर आ रहा है? ठीक है?
see that I'm now getting this weird exception around how services binding.default binary messenger was accessed before the binding was initialized. So I don't entirely know what's happening here, but I'm guessing somewhere in the Firebase initialization code, it's rising yet, and it's it first. And it works. And this is nice, but I'm not...
और लाइन लिखी है widget flutter binding dot ensure initialized, ये मेथड यूज किया है, ये वो खुद ही कर रहे हैं, हमें सिर्फ वो कह रहे हैं कि ये लाइनें ऐड कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। अब रेडिंग का भी कोई इशू नहीं आएगा और ये चीजें भी आपकी कवर होगी। अब हमारा फायरबेस इसके साथ कनेक्ट हो जाएगा।
Restart my app again, and it works. And this is nice, but I'm not a big fan of this blocking await call right here. While Firebase generally initializes quickly, I don't like having your app do nothing while we're waiting for an asynchronous call. So I think the best thing to do here is to use a future builder. As you may know, a future, you can check out Andrew's video in the link below for more info. So like say a loading screen while you're waiting for this future to resolve. So let's do that here. I'm going to remove this initialize call here. And down here in my app, I'll set up final Firebase app underscore FB app equal to Firebase initialize app, and I'll remove the await call. Android Studio will complain that FB app should be a future that resolves to Firebase app, so we can fix that here. And then what I'll do down future that resolves to Firebase app, so we can fix that here. And then what I'll do down here in my build call is to keep this material app, but for my home widget, I'm going to use a future builder. So for the future property here, I will specify FB app. This is telling the future builder what future I want to be monitoring. And then for my builder, well, this is the callback that gets called initially, but then also gets called when there's a change in the state of my future, either when there's an error or it's been completed. So we'll return a very big.
अब यहाँ पे उसने क्या किया, जो बिल्डर है वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट का मतलब ये है कि इसी क्लास के लिए बिल्डर बनने जा रहा है और स्नैपशॉट लेता रहेगा। ये अगर स्नैपशॉट में एरर है तो प्रिंट कर दो, आपके पास एरर आ गया और एरर जो है वो स्ट्रिंग की फॉर्म में शो करवा दो और रिटर्न कर दो समथिंग वेंट रॉन्ग, ठीक है। और अगर ऐसा नहीं है, अच्छा देखिए पहले सिंपल हमने फायरबेस इनिशियलाइज किया था, अब हम इनिशियलाइज नहीं कर रहे, इनिशियलाइज के साथ साथ स्नैपशॉट्स चेक भी कर रहे हैं, एरर्स भी, यानी हमारा जो फ्यूचर बिल्डर ने हमें क्या कर दिया, हमें सहूलत दे दी कि हम फायरबेस को एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग के साथ डील कर सकें।
As data is true. If it is, well, that probably means that the future has been resolved properly and Firebase has been properly initialized. So I'm going to go ahead and return the original My Homepage widget. and then otherwise I will return a very basic loading indicator.
तो
Okay.
वो
Now I feel like we
इंडिकेटर
have
लगा रहे हैं
properly initial.
मजा आया मौजूद है
initialized app. So let's run this, and well, my app is running, but it still looks the same as before. How can we tell that we have Firebase actually working properly? Well, if we were to look in the log cat while running the Android version of our app, initialization was successful. And so at this point, you are pretty much ready to go. But if you want to see in the number, so let's see, equals Firebase database. .instance.reference to get a reference to our real-time database, and then we'll call child to hit a child node that we will call, say, test. And then let's just set that to a value of hello world followed by a random number. I'm going to just confirm that dart.math and the real-time database libraries were imported, and they were, so I think that should do it. So we can hot reload, click the button, and whoops, well, we're getting some kind of, we can value of hello world. Followed by a random number. I'm going to just confirm that dart.math and the real-time database libraries were imported, and they were, so I think that should do it. So we can hot reload, click the button, and whoops, well, we're getting some kind of permission denied error. I know, I forgot to enable the database in the Firebase project. So I'm going to head on over to the console. I will jump to the real-time database tab and say, yes, I really do want to create a database. We'll start out in test mode, which means everybody can access our database, which is a terrible idea, but will work for now. And now when I click the button, hey, look at that. There's a value changing the database. That's very exciting. Now again, this was super quick and dirty, and we will hopefully create a tutorial in the near future on how to properly use the real-time database in your application, but it's good to know we have Firebase working and connected to a real backend. All right, so now that you have Firebase properly set up and initialized in your code, there is lots more you can do.